Comfortably zoned in Metsville.
Zeke Tyko here with my friends, Pauly Brumbaugh.
What's happening, folks?
Robert Cole and Lenny Levine. Did I get that right?
You got everybody's name right except for your own.
Well, that happens when you get to be 80, and that's getting close. I'm in my 80th year, still love the New York Mets all this time, and I just want to say that I've got two mavens, Robert Cole and Lenny Levine, who are just Met fans from the word go. They share their experiences with the Dodgers, their memories with the Dodgers. And how are you guys doing? Lenny, first you.
Good. As far as I know, I'm doing fine.
Okay, just before I forget, at some time soon, hold up your book, because you wrote a book on the Dodgers. It's a nonfiction book, or
it's
a fiction.
book.
It's a fiction.
It's a murder
right?
mystery, in fact. A murder mystery. It involves the Brooklyn Dodgers. It takes place in the final week in 1951 before Bobby Thompson's horrible home run shot heard round the world.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
To the Giant fans, horrible to the Dodger fans, and that's what the mystery is about. Somebody's killing Giant fans. Is it a Dodger fan? Is it our hero, our 12-year-old hero's father? That's what the mystery is. He has to try and solve it. And in the meantime, we go through the week, both the Dodger games and the Giant games that took place during that week. And then, of course, the 3-game playoff that led to the home run. That's all involved in this. And it's I believe, a great book for baseball fans, particularly nostalgic Dodger or Giant fans who remember when they were in New York, and for mystery fans. So
I've been meaning to ask you.
Yes.
I've been meaning to ask you, do you feel that Bobby Thompson knew what was coming?
He will tell you that he didn't. Ralph Branco would tell you that he did. They definitely had that stuff going on, but
how do you feel?
I'm really kind of still on the fence about it, because there are statistics that say that the Giants didn't really benefit from that they only hit 279 at home during those games, and that it didn't have an effect. It was a good pitch. It was up and in. It wasn't a meatball right out of a hanging curve or anything. And but he was quick on it and he hit it. And it would not have been a home run in other ballparks, but it was just over the fence in the Polo Grounds. But I'm kind of still, I'm neutral about whether there was cheating going on or not.
Okay, fair enough. I happen to think that he knew what was coming, and to witness, who was it? Sal Magley told Branca, who was complaining bitterly about all of it, he said, should have thrown a curveball. And that
anything else.
Right.
Well, the truth of the matter is that Branca shouldn't have even been in there. It should have been Carl Erskine. Charlie Dressen blew it completely. Okay. Mm-hmm. Thompson had hit a home run off of Branca in game 1 of the 3-game playoffs. Okay. And there was no reason to bring Branca in except for Dressen's thinking he was a genius.
You know what was a big part of it? Was that Campanella wasn't in the lineup at that time. And taking nothing away from the substitute Rube Walker, I think it was, taking nothing away from him. Campy had a way of handling that pitching staff that no one ever did before or since.
Yep.
Well, Campanella could have caught. Okay, he said he was okay sitting behind the plate and catching. Dressen was concerned that if a ball got past Campanella, he wouldn't be able to run after it as a pass ball, and Dressen couldn't stand to be second guessed. Okay. Had Campanella been the catcher, Newcomb probably wouldn't have come out of the game because Campanella had a way of riding Newcomb and getting a little extra out of him.
That's true. That's true. Well, Campy also couldn't run. He hit into a double play in game one that any other batter would have beaten out, and the rally would have been going. But it was a key reason why they lost game one was because he couldn't beat out that double play ball.
Good point. Good point. See what I mean by mavens, everybody? Dodgers, Mets, doesn't matter. Your memories are, and Robert and I talked about this last week, as a matter of fact. Lenny, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Robert. So many people reach their 80s, late 70s, 80s, and they lose it. Your mind loses it. Ours hasn't. I will put myself in your category. I have just an excellent memory. What do you attribute your keeping your seichel going?
My seichel, that's a technical term for you.
Yes, it is.
Well,
yes,
I don't know. Clean living. I've always had this kind of memory. I mean, I memorized at one point when I was a teenager, I memorized the uniform numbers of every player in the National League. I just always had that kind of memory. And, you know, Kane and Hura, as they say, it's still here. And I'm 85 now, in fact. So,
hey,
you know,
do you guys remember, speaking of all the numbers, Baseball Digest throughout the summer had an update on the rosters, and sometimes, like I was at camp, I wouldn't even know it until I read Baseball Digest that so-and-so was called up. And I miss those days, and the days, and Robert and I talked about this over the years, who's who in baseball would really come in handy today, even if they had it on the computer. But they couldn't with all the minor league guys, the minor league numbers that made it interesting, so you know what was coming. I love that publication. And
Baseball Digest, okay, back then was especially good because you didn't have all the different changes that you have today. I mean, you go down the transaction wire today, I mean, 30, 40, 50 or more every single day. Guys getting released, guys getting DFA'd, guys getting sent down to the minors. You know, it's crazy. Back then, very little of that happened.
Well, there were only 16 teams back then. Now there are 30.
Right.
So, you know, just right there increases all
but you're right about the numbers, okay? We used to, as kids, we would get the Baseball Digest, and one of us would call out a player's name, and the others would yell out the number.
Yep.
Right, or vice versa. Number 19 on the Giants.
Alvin Dark. Yeah, Alvin Dark.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if Dark wore 19.
He
Maybe
did.
he did.
He did. I'm telling you, he did. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think he did.
All right. One of my heroes.
Take it from a maven. Take it from a maven. That was his number.
Okay.
There you go.
Good point. take it from an old guy. Some things you do forget. Let me just say that. Um, Paulie, what do you remember? We'll interject you in those days. How did you get baseball through literature, be it books or be it magazines? Or did you?
Paulie's a baby. Paulie's a baby, Ralph.
I am
I
a
know.
baby. I am a baby. You're right. But how did I ingest my baseball? Because it was the all-American pastime, folks. I ingested it in all forms. It was everywhere. It was on, it was on major TV. It was represented in cartoons as a kid. It was represented in literature of. We used to have a whole bunch of different. I don't want to say school books that were issued by the district, but we had a whole bunch of books that were fun books that were released by a company called Scholastic. And
Right.
Scholastic.
There used to be book fairs.
Right,
Okay.
used to be
There used
book
to be book
fair
fairs.
and all that stuff. So there was a lot of things like I remember, or even Disney, Casey at the Bat, stuff like that. I mean, it was the American culture and baseball are woven, their fabric. So it's hard to have one without the other. And that still
Hey.
exists today, but it definitely more existed when I was a kid, right?
Mhm.
So.
Do you guys remember Bugs Bunny and
Oh, yeah.
the baseball scene? It'd be a whole half hour of Bugs Bunny playing ball.
Well, he
Wait.
did a Casey at the Bat too, didn't he? And
I
so
don't-
I think there was a Warner Brothers or Looney Tunes Casey at the Bat also.
Yes.
Uh,
You guys remember the old silent cartoons? Okay. Uncle Fred on Channel
Uncle Fred's
13.
Junior Frolics, Channel
Yes.
13.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And they used to have, the one where the big, strong guys would come banging out home runs left and right.
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 So I
what?
think we ingested it in a lot of different ways. Even they try to get you young with baseball cards.
Oh,
They
yeah.
what did they put in baseball cards, or what did they used to put in wax packs? Bubble gum, right?
Right.
Right.
I look at all those things now with a lot of aha moments. Like they gave us pink cigars, bubblegum cigars. They gave us
Right.
cigarettes in a pack that when you took
Yes.
you take the cigarette out and it would puff out a little chalk dust. A little
It-
chalk dust.
It
What else
wasn't
did they
even
give us?
sublim- it wasn't
here's even better.
Subliminal.
No, here's another one. Who remembers this, and why does this stick out in my head? Remember it was the rolls of like wax paper that were like a spool of tickets, but they had little dots on it, and they were all different colors.
You pull it off and you eat them. Little tiny dots.
Yeah, little hits of acid. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
That's a different.
I'm sorry. I'm just the things I recognize and the thing I think about when the PG&E goes out at night. So that's what I'm talking about. We're kind of indoctrined as a society with a lot of these things, good, bad, ugly. Even that's where we won't get into it, but racism and politics, things that you don't even want in your orbit. There's so many people avoiding politics right now. You can't. It's an obstacle course. It's a virtual land field or a landmine field of. Yeah, I just want to stay away from today. I don't want to say the word our president's name. I don't want to say that, but it will still happen. And that's even if you're not politically minded. Again, I'm using politics without talking about it. But even my kid goes, I don't want to talk about politics. 10 minutes later, inadvertently talking about it through osmosis because it's touched everything. Same thing with baseball. Same thing with baseball in our society. And the farther you go back, the more they're church and state, or no, not church and state, but they go hand in hand with each other.
Look at what happened.
Baseball and food, hot dogs.
Last night. Yep.
And
Look at what happened
Chevrolet.
I'm just gonna say.
Basketball game.
I was just
Remember
gonna say,
Look at
Dinah
what happened
Shaw?
last night.
Remember Dinah Shaw? Baseball, hot dogs, and Chevrolet.
Yep.
Yeah, in pop culture in those days, it reigned unbelievable. What's My Line, for instance, always had baseball. We talked about that. I'll tell you, it's not the same, and I have some solutions for baseball, and it's very simple. Let the kids watch the important games, the All-Star games, the World Series, and it would make so much of a difference because pretty soon the kids will be meeting in their own respective schoolyards and talking just the way we did as kids. And that doesn't happen if you my kid is 36 now, but in those days I spent a lot of schoolyard time with kids of his age. Baseball didn't come up. It wasn't discussed. And
It's all about this, Ralph.
The Soto, speaking of the Mets and free agency and the money thing, Soto sticks his mouth into it all this week. And it wouldn't bother me so much, but he's the highest paid baseball player going. So whatever his complaint was, it really makes you think that they're throwing it in our faces. I have good questions for you. What do you think of the impending proposition of the salary cap being non-existent or being enforced? A full salary cap, what the players worked for 40 years to put in force, the owners want to take away. And how are these players going to react? Start with you, Robert.
Well, first of all, the Players Association will never, ever go for a salary cap. Okay. Just as you said, they fought years and years and years to do away with salary caps. They're never going to go for it. The owners could care less. They're all multi-million. The players are multimillionaires. Get ready for no baseball next year. That's the way I feel about it.
Now, who will that serve? The players or the owners or neither? Are these people that fucking stupid? You know, they got to come to some sort of an agreement. And can you put it in arbitration between both of them?
No,
Okay.
I don't see that happening. It's hard, it's hard to say, like I said, top echelon of the players, they could go years without having to make any more money. The owners can go years without having to make money. It all depends if, all these owners have other businesses too. And if fans start boycotting those other businesses, that might wake them up a little bit.
That's a good point.
That's the only way to have any effect at all is to boycott their other businesses. That's all you can do. But baseball is the only sport that doesn't have a salary cap. And salary caps seem to at least keep things somewhat sane in terms of owners outbidding each other and paying these totally stratospheric salaries.
Right.
But
So
it's hard
But
to find a balance of it.
what the
basically,
Players Association is asking now is that there be a minimum spending cap. Okay, they want the lower echelon teams like the Tampa Bay Rays and the Sacramento, Oakland, Las Vegas A's to spend at least X amount of dollars in their salary. Okay,
Mhm.
that's what they're looking for, not a salary cap, but a salary
Like a
floor.
salary bottom, yeah.
Correct, correct.
good point.
Oh,
Good
it'll be
point.
interesting.
That would help.
Paul, you're the youngin among us. Do you remember when fans didn't think about the money aspect? Because I don't. But
No, I think that becomes a I think that becomes a it's something to do with youth. I think it's something to do with innocence. I think it has something to do with youth. Because there's a point in time when we're all kids and when you're playing whatever it is, stickball or baseball or even just throwing a ball against a wall, that you become your idol, right? You become whoever that is. And you're not thinking, oh, I'm going to be, insert your favorite player here in this moment because he's rich and famous. You do it because he hits balls out of the ballpark. You do it because he has a no-hitter and strikes every batter out in front of him. You do it because they're heroes. You don't do it because they're... So at some point, I think something in a child, it's the end of innocence, right? It's when you realize the world is about money and power, and it's not about heroes. And, all of a sudden, your heroes don't wear capes anymore, that kind of thing. And so I think
yeah,
it has a lot to do with the end of innocence. I think that's a lot of it. I think you lose a lot of sight when you introduce money and greed and power. Power's as ugly as greed, right? And so, yeah, I think that's where it turns that corner for me. It virtually turns that corner for me.
hey,
It's
Paulie,
hard
can you imagine how what you said is modified in all three of our brains, given the fact that the Dodgers and Giants both carpetbagged and left kids. Like I was 11 years old. It was horrible.
One of our biggest gripes on the other show, Zig in the Zone, is eminent domain, right? How can you
Right?
steal a child's dream? Well, money. That's how you do it. Fucking greedy bastards. No.
Yes, you took the words right out of my
Right?
head.
Greedy fucking bastards.
Fucking dirty bastards.
Thank you.
Because you're messing with a kid. I understand decisions being made purely on business, this, that, and the other thing. Don't mess with the kids.
Well, isn't that the end of innocence too? When you realize the world is just, it's about money and power and greed. Oh, it's not about fulfilling dreams and making people happy and, really? Holy shit.
Yeah.
What has this world come to? I've become old and crotchety. Go ahead, guys. This is the handoff to you.
I just got a message that Robert's phone has failed because of his battery.
Okay.
I
And
have a
we
question.
figured that because I saw him drop out and he was losing cell phone signal. He was getting wonky. So
Right.
Can
So
you plug it in?
let
Yeah.
me get some of Lenny's thoughts on a bunch of stuff. First of all, Lenny, do you remember when Slim had a record store in the subway? Guy named Slim had a raccoon on the counter, and that's not
Live
made
raccoon?
uh, because I wanted to ask you that about music and New York.
Well, I
But
don't know. I never heard of Slim. What subway station was he at?
he was like, it wasn't a major station,
Yeah.
so he would play the music that he sold. And in the 50s, it was tough to get the black music on the air conventionally. And he did that, and he had a show that you could call in and what have you. So, but that's my memory of New York.
Okay.
Talk about the Mets of late and what you think of what's going on, and are you impressed with their resurgence?
Well, they had to resurge. I mean, they could not
Yeah,
continue playing at an 0-12 pace.
right.
There had to be some kind of resurgence because, as they say, you're never as good as you look when you're winning, and you're never as bad as you look when you're losing. So they did have to come around a bit. They've got some very promising young players there, and maybe if they continue, they'll they'll be contenders. And with the wild card system now, you can be a 500 team and you got a good shot of being in the playoffs.
And
So
they've got a good shot at being in the playoffs. They're
yeah.
only 5 games out, 4 or 5 games below 500,
Mhm.
which is a miracle. Um, Robert and I talked with Bernie Rose about um, how good a job, this was a couple of 3 weeks ago, how good a job that the manager was or wasn't doing. Give him a little props because they've turned around and played some good ball.
Yeah. Well, I think they
And
were underachieving before or just unlucky. Uh, everything has to click. The hitter's got to hit and the pitcher's got to pitch all at the same time. If your pitching goes south, then you're going to lose, even if you got hitting, or maybe your hitting can save some of it. If one goes south, then the whole thing is out of balance. It's a delicate game, baseball. There's a lot of variations in it. Keith Hernandez once wrote a book in which he analyzed 2 games pitch by pitch. Every pitch in a game changes the situation. And he wrote one game that he was actually physically present for, and another game that he was watching on television, which was a different way of looking at it. And it's fascinating for any baseball fan. It really explains how complicated and intricate the game is, and it's not this kind of slow, languid pace. There is a change, and which is why I'm glad that they're doing something about the strike zone and that there's some kind of challenge system in there. I would prefer that there would be computerized balls and strikes, just that's how it is. And it won't affect the viewer because the umpire would be behind the plate just like always, but getting the result in his ear and then calling the pitch. And you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Now it's sort of turned into a game show, but it's an interesting game show because it shows how the umpires are really pretty good and how hitters and catchers and pitchers, particularly pitchers, aren't necessarily the best judges of balls and strikes. So I like that there is some kind of accountability in it because one pitch in an at bat can change the entire game. whether it's 0-2 or 1-1 is a big difference in the situation. And so I'm glad that they're at least doing some of that.
The umpires always have an advantage of determining ball strikes over the player, because the player in action has their head moving and doesn't have full focus at all times on where the ball is. And
Particularly the pitcher.
Yes, exactly. You're in motion.
God knows where after he releases the ball.
Exactly.
Bob Gibson wouldn't have been able to tell, I don't think, because he would be falling off to first base every time.
Oh, yeah. Bob Gibson was a terror. Just an editorial comment. He certainly.
Broken leg.
And he died young. So many players die young. I don't know if it's the stress early on. Part of it is the tendency of blacks to not get proper nourishment. And but it's a pity that we lose guys to mortality. Pity that we lose anyone to mortality. But that's another story for another time. Do some business, would you, Paulie? Paulie?
Yeah, sounds good to me. I had to unmute myself. Time to do some business. All right, here we go. Here we go. So we like peace of mind here at Comfortably Zoned in Metsville. That's right. We need peace of mind. We think you should have peace of mind too. Please not only like, subscribe, and follow us, but also patronize our sponsors. We'll be back right after this, folks.
Whether it's criminal defense, estate planning, or civil litigation, the answer is the law offices of Andrew Doja. Call us today at 510-865-1600 or find us on the web at dojalaw.com.
For tenant and landlord disputes, there's no other than the law office of Jeff Canberra. Call now 1-510-865-7369 and don't forget to tell them Zig sent you.
We're back here, Comfortably Zoned in Metsville. It is our intermission time, so it is our time to squawk about us, our brand too. So please go like, subscribe, follow us on all platforms. We're on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. There's all those addresses. Please go like, subscribe, ring the bell. You'll be notified when a new episode of Comfortably Zoned in Metsville drops. And we're back, Ziggy.
Paulie, let me give you a little credit and a little airtime to talk about Edge Studios, out of which you've done a tremendous job of producing and getting us launched. And I'm grateful, but tell people how you can help people who are looking to get the word out there.
That's right. You don't have to be a baseball aficionado or lover. No. You could just be
word could be everything that enters your mind. Baseball is our thing, but people can avail themselves of what you do. And why don't you tell them how?
Yeah. So again, you guys, you don't baseball. Maybe baseball's not your bag. In this case, maybe it's something else. But it's if it's expressing yourself. We have a storefront in San Francisco where you can come and record content. We take all the technical hassle out of it. You can come in to our storefront at 7th and Market at Edge Studios Online. Record whatever you want to do. You come in, you tell us what you need to do. We'll help you. We'll set it up. And that way you can just come in, not worry about the technical stuff. We record you. Also, the greatest thing is You walk away with your own content, or you stream right to your own social media. The other thing is, maybe you're not in San Francisco. Maybe you want to express yourself, but you're not San Francisco, California. Maybe you're not even in the United States and you want to be able to do a podcast such as Comfortably Zoned in Metsville. We can help you do that. All you have to do is reach out to us at Edge Studios. That's right. Call us at 650-503-3435. Again, that's 650-503-3435. We can help you no matter where you sit. It doesn't matter if you have a phone, you're sitting in a basement in Minnesota, or if you have a full studio and you're sitting right next door. We can help you accomplish your dream. You can also send us an email at edgestudiosonline@gmail.com. Reach out to us. We'll help you do it, just like Zig has done it here. So thank you for that little plug there.
Well, I'm going to plug Head Start, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Kids need a way of developing a passion, and there's no better way than for you, wherever you are, to box up a bunch of lightly used or new books, kids' books primarily, and put them in a bin and get them to the Head Start program in the community where you live. Pure and simple. I developed my passion from reading, and it's baseball and little porn, but that's another story. Can't do that, but in Braille. Nevertheless, get kids' books. You can you can improve your community immensely by making kids literate. And the kids that need Head Start, it's like, which came first, the chicken or the egg? So help your community. That's my word for the day.
Amen.
There you go. Remember, guys, Head Start programs help children get ready to succeed in school and in life. That's right. Early learning and development, health and wellness, family well-being, and family engagement. It all starts with a book in hand. Remember, the Head Start program. We're back here live in scene with Ziggy. What's up?
Nice.
And we got Lenny Levine with us too.
Well, you can, and
he should plug his wares. He should hawk his wares too. Tell us about your book one more time.
Okay, I will tell you about my book one more time. It is a murder mystery. It takes place during the leading up to Bobby Thompson's home run, shot heard around the world, and it's a mystery. Who done it? Giant fans are dying, and some crazed Brooklyn Dodger fan is evidently doing it. Who is it? Is it our main character, 12-year-old boy Lenny Levine? Is it his father? Seems to think that it is. Indications are that it is, but is it? It's a whodunit, and it's a did he do it? But it's basically a lot of baseball. And if you like baseball, and it's particularly baseball from the 50s, Dodgers, Giants when they were in New York, this is for you. It has intimate details of games. Sometimes we're in the players' minds. Sometimes, a lot of times we're actually on the field during the game as it's taking place. So mystery fans, baseball fans, diehard fan, it's on Amazon. It's also on Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble.
beautiful.
There you go.
Hey, in the future, when you hold the book up, don't have it cover your face. So you can see. Let's try that.
Beautiful face at the same time. The book is the most important thing.
Off to your right. I know, but off to your right.
Oh, I got it. All right, I'll remember for the next time.
All right. See.
I could see it. I could see it.
I'm taking over some technical duties for Paul, who has worked hard this morning.
There you go. So it's okay. It's double duty, folks. It's double duty, and I've got a third shift tonight. I'm hosting a comedy show for about 2 hours tonight in the Valley. I'll shout that out to anybody that's watching. Please come out to the Fireside Inn in Lathrop, California, at the corner of 5th and Lathrop Road. We go from about 8 to 11, 8 to 10, depending on how many comedians we have. We love you guys. Come out, enjoy some fine libations, and some laughs. So there we go.
Hey, thank you, Paulie. Thank you, Mr. Levine.
Yeah, fine.
I'm doing pretty good for an old guy.
Yeah,
Holy smokes! We better get out of the show before he goes back to Levine. All right, here we go.
Every time you start to say my name, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Me too. Every time I try to say anything, I'm afraid.
That's right.
How's this going to be taken? How's that going to be taken? Hey, speaking of how you're a Met fan, I'm sure you're a Knicks fan all these years.
Oh, yeah.
How did you enjoy the president's reception last night in the playoff game? Was that not bitching or what?
Yeah, well, it was only to be expected, and it didn't disappoint. The 19,000 people booing the shit out of it.
How this guy expected, like you say, anything else, and how did he put himself out there and then get angry at the way he was treated? And how about war crimes and grifting and taking little children and
that's for the next podcast. This is Comfortably Zoned in Metsville, not uncomfortably unzoned in America.
I know. I tried to be a little transition there for a second and get old Ralphie's word in there. Thank you, guys. Great show.
Appreciate you. All right, you guys.
All right.
Until next week, right? We are out of here, guys.
Be well. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you.
And thank you for listening, everybody.
Comfortably Zoned in Metsville.